Now, I want to know, when did it happen that having your car repossessed was a party? Sunday evening, folks. All right, so as we know, car payments are not what they used to be. We're looking at a lot of car payments around $800,000, $900,000. Okay, but you know how we sit and we talk about, as consumers, we sit and we say that corporations are getting greedy, and that's why we're seeing, shrinkflation, and landlords are getting greedy. This is why rent is so high, and there is definitely validity to all that. But the fact that people are in upwards of $800,000, $900,000 plus car payments makes me have to question and ask, are we as consumers perhaps getting just a little too greedy? And we want that car and we want it right now. So let's take a look at this first one here. Some of these videos, as you know, they're TikTok music, which I can't stand, and it deals with copyright issues anyway, so I have put on my own music over it. But this first one here is no talking. On the screen it says, me having a $1,200 monthly car payment because I wanted to ride in a fast car, brown interior with ambient lighting. Some people might pronounce it ambient lighting. $1,200 monthly car payment. Let's put this in perspective as far as my own bills. All right. My Toyota Corolla Hybrid will be paid off within about 3 months. Okay. I'm literally down to less than $9,000 payment. I purchased it 4 months ago, and my goal was to pay it off in 6 to 8 months. I will hit the 8 month mark beautifully. My cost of living after that car is paid off, I return in essence again to debt freedom. All right. My cost of living, not counting the $500 a month that I budget for myself for food, my cost of living is $1,200 a month. And I did a breakdown a while back on this channel about that $1,200. So this person's car is as much as my HOA, my car insurance, which here in Florida is absolutely absurd. I think my car insurance runs like $175. It's stupid. No accidents, no tickets, no driving violations. I'm 57, the whole 9 yards, right? So we're talking my HOA, my car insurance, my electric, my gas, which admittedly is not much. It's a electric vehicle, okay? It doesn't count food, but then we've also got my cell phone, okay? All of my bills wrapped up from the big to the small, the water bill, the cell phone bill. My cost of living is $1,200. That's this person's car. So when you hear about people having these $1,000 a month car payments, keep in mind that for many people that are perhaps more budget conscious, all right, that car payment at $1,000 can be nearly what we spend on a month in bills. Now, of course, bills are all relative. Okay, I have no children, I have no pets, yada yada. Okay, I live by myself, all right. But still, just to give you an idea, when people sit and we just cringe because we hear $1,000 a month, it's because to a lot of us it's like, oh my goodness, I could practically take care of myself on that. But that's living very budget conscious and the goal of being debt freedom as much as possible. Now we have to also say, okay, there are people who could afford it. All right. And that's true. There are. But my thought is, if you really can afford that, and that's just easy peasy for you, then why are you borrowing money to get the car? Just simply purchase the car. Oops, let me play the video. Hold on. Now I'm looking at this brown interior on her $1,200 a month car. I don't get it. I don't get why I would want to fork out $300 every 7 days to ride in this car. Yeah, it kind of gives you some perspective there, don't it? Every 7 days, $300 for this car. Remember, this doesn't count gas, car insurance, maintenance. You want to fork out $300 every 7 days. Do you have that type of money? And again, if that's like, oh, that's easy, then you should be able to just buy the car outright.
Hey, Lindsberg.
Okay, this guy here, I actually, well, this isn't about a car payment video. What this clip does discuss is how much car you should spend based on your salary. And I will be honest, in today's day and age, this just seems like total fantasy because hardly anyone can get it. But I will tell you, it is possible to get. You might have to go used, and you will most likely have to drop way down in what you want. Listen for your dollar figure. I'll stop it when it comes to my salary figure.
Hey, what's up?
How much can I afford to spend on a car based on different salaries?
Throw some salaries at me.
All right, $25K.
$200 a month.
Anyone got a $200 a month car payment? $25K. That's what Dave Ramsey might call a hoopty, right?
What about $50K?
$400 a month.
What about $75K?
$600 a month.
Okay, now he said 50, I think he said 50K is around $400 a month or so. All right, my Toyota Corolla, which I'm paying off in 8 months, I saved for part of it in 2023. I had part of it saved, about probably about 800, about 9,000 of it I already had saved. And then when I bought the Corolla, it was actually set for 5 years at about, I think it's like $510 a month. So I'm actually right in the ballpark of what I could technically afford. But that's 5-year payments, and that to me is too long. I really am not comfortable with payments much beyond 3 years. And if we have to throw any stones, absolutely not past 4. But I really prefer 3 or less. I'm doing mine in 8 months, but I'm way going down. Going to a Toyota Corolla.
$100,000.
$800 a month.
Okay, so $100,000 a year income. He's saying $800 a month, and these numbers sound reasonable. How many young people right now are holding on to car payments that are $800, $900, $1,000 a month, but they're not making anywhere near that? And if they are making near that, they're overextended in student loans and other bills and other luxuries. I want to go travel the world. I never knew so many people, I never knew so many people wanted to travel the world until TikTok came along.
What about $125,000?
$1,000 a month.
Okay, so you need $125,000 income respectively to get into $1,000 a month car payment. And you know darn well most of these people don't make anywhere near that. And again, if they do, they're taxed out in other areas. If you've been watching the news, you know darn well family auto repossessions are going higher and higher. Right now, it's pretty good for the towing industry. In fact, where I live, there's a huge apartment / condo. I think it's condo townhouses. There's a huge townhouse-like community across from me. It's like across the street. There's like a big pond, then there's a street, and I can see across. All right, they're not like directly next door, but they're close enough that it's kind of interesting because on Saturday nights, I'd say about once or twice a month, I see a tow truck. I kid you not, big tow truck with a flatbed rolling in there at about 11 p.m. And I'm always thinking to myself, all right, whose car's getting taken tonight?
Okay, $150,000.
About $1,200 a month.
Okay, so this first video that I just showed you guys a second ago at the opening is a $1,200 a month car payment. So they should be making $150K a year. Yeah, right. Okay, this is this one says, there's no talking on this one. It says, having a $1,000 car payment because I wanted a rose gold Mazda with tan interior and a panoramic sunroof. So based on what this guy just said, to have $1,000 a month car payment, they should be making around $150K. No, excuse me. I think they should, about $125K, right around there, to have $1,000 a month car payment. We can sit and we can say that big companies are, price gouging, and they are. Okay, shrinkflation is real. But are we also kind of doing that to ourselves? Not all of us, but a lot of us. Okay, are we following suit? And you hear people going, well, if the government's not going to have a budget, then I don't need to have a budget. That's fine. You can go ahead and throw your budget away, but in the end, you're on your own to peel yourself out. Oh my God. The outside wasn't too bad, but that mustard yellow on the inside just ain't cutting it for me. I mean, that's just personal taste, okay? Again, this is a few $100, $250, $246, yeah, $250 every 7 days. People, start looking at it and breaking it down into days. Every 7 days, you're forking this out. As a matter of fact, I think sometimes when we say it's $1,000 a month, it almost, what's the word? It almost glosses over how much money you're really paying. It's 1,000 because then in your mind you're thinking of an entire, 1 month. No, I want you to look at it as every Sunday I'm going to give my car company this much money to drive this car. Every Sunday. Think of it. Start thinking of it like that. See how long it takes for you to get behind. There's a nice sunroof. Why are people paying for these? I think, is that a panoramic? I'm not even sure what a panoramic sunroof is. I don't do sunroofs, and that's because to me it's not if the sunroof is going to leak, it's when it's going to leak. And here's the thing. You can't drive anyways staring up at the sunroof, all right? When it's dark, again, drive-in movie theaters don't exist really anymore. So, I mean, I'm sure they do exist, but, they're not popular. So we don't need to look through the sunroof and stare at the stars. What is the purpose of the sunroof? Just something to think about. So here we have a person who's going to pay $250 every Sunday for their car, on top of maintenance, on top of gas, on top of insurance. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying the outside, isn't a nice color. Interior leaves a little something to be desired for my choice, okay? But $250, heck no. No, I'm not shelling over a couple $100 every Sunday to drive my car. You see how that changes when you look at it like that? All right, remember this lady? The Tahoe lady. All right, she says here, she's the lady that bought the Tahoe that was some ridiculous $1,000 a month payment. And then she bought one for her husband also. All right. I did a video on that a while back, but she's known as the Tahoe lady pretty much on TikTok. Okay, she says here, started to cry thinking about how my car just got repossessed. Yes, because her vehicle, the Tahoe's, what I believe she's talking about, she did repossess it. And then she bought was either an Audi she bought with 100,000 miles on it. Stupid is, right? So she says here, started to cry thinking about how my car just got repossessed. And then she says, but then remembered I no longer have a car payment, and she starts dancing. Now, I want to know, when did it happen that having your car repossessed was a party that we announced to the public? I mean, damn, I'm like 30 years out of my repossession. I can finally say, okay, yes, I had a repossession. This just happened to her not too long ago. And she's up here, for those who can't see the camera, she's doing her dance. When did it become popular to dance because you're broke, you don't understand money, and your husband doesn't understand money? All right. You buy a used Audi with 100,000 miles on it to make up for the Tahoe that you lost. When did it become socially, I don't know if the word's acceptable, but socially proper that we're going to dance over our car repossession? When I got my Maxima repossessed when I was in my early 30s, okay, it was before I moved to Florida, I was devastated. It was bankruptcy number 2. Because the first bankruptcy was over credit cards in my early 20s, and then 10 years later, I was another failure, and I didn't understand how to buy a car. I just didn't understand how to do the math to buy a car. All I looked at was, well, if the car was $500 a month, I take home $500 a month. Okay. I didn't factor in, gas, maintenance, and I might want to have a life outside the car payment. So at the time in my early 30s when I had the car, it was about 40% of my take home income for a car. The Nissan Maxima, which to this day, I mean, I still love that car, but I realized that back then at 32, that was 40% of my take home income. Oh, and then count in rent. And I was one of the idiots that you see today that, and 80% of your income is between car, auto insurance, and rent. So Tahoe lady here is dancing that she no longer has a car payment, but she also forgets that just because your car gets repossessed doesn't relieve you of the bill. Because trust me, if it were that easy, we'd all just, drive the fanciest car and, well, we don't want it anymore, we'll just turn it back in. No, they will try to sell it. Whatever they can't sell it for, you owe the difference on. And that's why I had to file bankruptcy. Because it wouldn't have mattered what the difference was. I was not going to be able to afford it. And I was on my second layoff at the time. I'm sure if that had happened today, I might have more financial strategies on how to so-called fight to save the car, because I have more financial wisdom today than I did back then. But back then, I didn't have it. I didn't have the financial wisdom. And the bankruptcy was like 16, 17,000 on my second layoff. But there was so much personal shame and tears and just how embarrassing, how emotionally, personally embarrassing. So apparently Tahoe lady is happy about it and she's dancing on TikTok. World has changed, that's for sure. Okay, this next one here is just music, and I'm going to read it to you, and I want you to also observe something. I have to raise the bifocals. Okay, it says here, having a $1,200 car payment because you wanted a cool mom car, as in mommy car, okay? You wanted a cool mom car with a double sunroof, TVs, and a heated steering wheel. Let me read that one more time. Having a $1,200 car payment because you wanted a cool mom car with a double sunroof, TVs, and a heated steering wheel. Okay, all good and well. But there's something that I noticed in this video, and I would like you to look at the garage. Now, remember that the second video that we played where the guy said, what does it take to have a $1,200 a month car payment? And he said basically a $1,500 a year income. I want you to look at this garage. Now, for all I know, when I first saw this, I thought, well, maybe this is the mother-in-law suite and the mansion is next door. And then I played the video. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it as well on the TV as I can see it on my screen. Because, sometimes there's a little bit of discrepancy, okay? I'm looking at the garage. This looks like the childhood garage that I was raised in my parents' house in Eugene, Oregon. The house was probably about 1,500 square feet. Now, unless this is the, like I said, the mother-in-law suite and the mansion is right across the street, I'm thinking this is one heck of a car payment. Again, I'm looking at the simplicity. So as I play the video, all right, I want you to look at the surroundings if you can catch it on TV. I don't know how it's going to look on TV. Okay, let's pause right here. Let's look at the house. All right, once again, this looks like the type of house that I was raised in. Now, I could be wrong. This could be one of those flat ranch style houses. You ever see those houses on the front? They look really small. And then you walk and you're like, oh, I had no idea this was 3,000 square feet. At least in my world, that's mighty big because I live in 840, okay? But I'm looking at this right off the bat going, this looks like a ranch style home. So that means one level. The garage looks pretty simple. Remember, she's got a $1,200 a month car payment. She pays $300 every Sunday. Yeah, $300 every Sunday she pays for this car because it's got heated car seats and a double, moonroof, TV. Don't they know that a lot of cars have TVs now where you can hook up your cell phone wireless? Like my car's a traveling hotspot, yada, yada. And that's a Corolla, okay? Let's take a look at this neighborhood. Okay, now I'm looking at the houses behind her. Again, I don't know how clear this is going to be on TV. But from what I can tell, this looks like everyday American neighborhood. This is how people wind up house poor, family. I got my tea with me. This is how people wind up house poor. Everything you make goes into your vehicle. Think of what you could do with an extra $150 a week. Now, the reason I say an extra $150 a week is we're going to take the $300 that she pays, and let's say she knocked it down to $150 every week, respectively having about $450 to $500 car payments versus this ridiculous, what is it? She's got $1,200. Imagine she had cut that payment in half. Let's say it was a $600 car payment, and to me that's still high. I still wouldn't want that. But let's just say, she'd compromise. She goes, you know what? I don't need the $1,200 car payment. I'm gonna go with the $600 car payment. What could she do with an extra $150 a week? Every Sunday, $150 comes back to her. This is how people go broke. I always check to make sure my mic's on. Okay, and this is the type of neighborhood, you're driving down the street. I'm driving down the street in my little Corolla, okay, my little Corolla hybrid, and I see a fancy car like this parked outside. I'm going, I sure hope they just visiting the neighborhood. It's where your values are. And also, you notice there's a car seat in the back. Great, so you're going to shell out $300 every week. See, that's how I look at it. Okay, I don't even say $1,200 a month. You're going to shell out $300 every week to put a baby in the back that's probably going to destroy the seat if you allow them to eat, drink, kick the back of the seat, and everything else that kids can do to cars. Again, like I said, back to that's my childhood garage. Okay, this next one is actually a skit. It's short, but I really liked it, and I'll talk about how it relates to my personal history after this skit is done. So we have this gal here. She's at a car dealership to just get a repair, or to get her oil, lube, and filter done. And the screen says, when you go to a dealership to just get an oil change.
Hey, how you doing? You're Sarah, right?
Hi, I'm wonderful. How are you?
Nice to meet you. My name's Albert. I'm the VIP manager over here. You have your vehicle in for service, correct?
Yes.
Just getting an oil change?
Yes.
All right, do me a favor. Follow me real quick.
That's their background feedback, not mine.
So you have your 2020 Camry here, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yes, I'm just here for an oil change.
Okay. How do you like the 23 Camry?
It's beautiful.
Great. Come on inside real fast.
Alrighty.
Congratulations on the purchase of your Camry.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so what happened was she goes in to get the oil change, and clearly he convinces her, so the oil change, why don't you just buy a new upgraded car? I was in a relationship a long time ago, and we were living together, and we were anything but financially literate. I had no idea what the freaking household budget was. We never sat down and discussed it. But I can say that in this relationship that I was in, and it was decades ago, we had agreed that we were going to take, we each had a vehicle. We had agreed we were going to take his vehicle, who was going to get a $300 part to repair the vehicle. And true story, he went to the dealership, the actual dealership, to get the part, because the part had to be special ordered to go pick up a $300 part. And I was cool with that. It's like, that's fine, because he was really good at repairing cars. And he walks out, calls me up about 2 hours later, maybe 3 hours, and he says, hey, I just got a new vehicle. I'll keep the name of it secret as to what it was, because I don't like to, out people. But it was, I got a new vehicle. New to us. It wasn't new, but it was very new, very upscale, with only a few miles on it. I mean, it had like running board lights, interior neon, the whole 9 yards. I'd never been in a vehicle like that. And the payment was $500 a month. Now you're talking, that was decades ago. So that'd be like our, $800 a month car payment today at least. When I tell you, when I do commentary, which is on Thursday nights, usually around 6:15 p.m., I do commentary on the Dave Ramsey Show. I say on that show over and over again, you don't realize how much of your budget, your financial security, your ability to retire and all of that, you don't realize how much of it you depend on your mate to not screw you over financially. Really. And I remember when he called and he said, hey, I've just bought us a new car. No, you didn't buy us a new car because you never consulted with me. You bought yourself a new car. Okay? And something I say on the Dave Ramsey Show all the time, and I've come to appreciate this knowledge, I think, the older I've gotten. You have to choose wisely when you pick a partner, because you may choose somebody who is so money and status driven that they'll take you straight down the hole with them financially so they can get the image that they want. And it'll be kind of like, to damn everything else. So when he announced that he had just bought this car at $500 a month. Now again, this is decades back, so that's the equivalent of our $800 a month car today, at least. Okay, I don't know, but I'm just guessing. I just remember thinking, we're sunk. We are absolutely sunk. And this is an honest conversation. We were actually sitting in our driveway, okay, of our apartment complex, and his exact words to me that evening, after having bought the car that he and I did not agree on to buy, but it gave him the image that he wanted, he literally said to me, he said, we have the nicest cars in the whole apartment complex. And he was right. We did. We had the nicest car. Or should I say, he had the nicest car. And because the relationship was already on rocky ground, which I'm sure was part of the motivation to buy it, but I digress. What I really was thinking was also, we are the most broke-ass people on the block with this really nice car. That lady with the garage that looked no more fancy than what I was raised in, with the house looked like it was ranch style, that looked no more fancy than what I was raised in. When she did a panoramic view of the car and I could see the houses behind her, that looks like an everyday America, blue collar, what is it? Not blue collar, white collar, but middle class. That looks like everyday middle class America. And she's driving a car that she's going to have to shell out $300 every week. See, family, if you'll start looking at your car payments instead of going, it's $1,000 a month, I want you to think every 7 days, I'm going to give up this amount of money to a lender, which means I'm going to sacrifice these other things, whether it's travel, going out with friends, for those who perhaps like to, volunteer, they're not going to have time to volunteer because you're going to be too busy trying to make money to pay for the car. Just saying. So the person you're with can really sink you financially. And so that's why I wanted to play that skit, because I was like, yes, I know exactly what's going on there.
Guys, this is what it's all.
Okay, this one here, it says customer tears of joy. I'm just going to play this clip. I think it speaks for itself. So for those who can't see the screen, you got the car dealer coming in. He's got his glasses on. And at first I thought it was a skit, but it's not. And you've got, is it her name, Tanisha or something, just crying. Enjoy this.
I have Janika here. She came
Her name is Tanika. Tanika is in tears.
by. Listen, life is not easy. We all go through ups and downs, but you know what? We gotta dust off and we gotta keep going. And this is what she did. She dusted off and she kept going, and now she has her car.
So she dusted herself off. She kept going, kept getting rejected.
Went through it. She kept trying, and look, now she has her car. She came by. Congratulations, Janika.
Congratulations, Tanika. Here is a concern that I have. First off, the guy can't take off his sunglasses, but I digress on that too. My thought is, if you keep going to dealership after dealership and they turn you down, you have a problem. That tells me you have a financial problem. And that's probably a combination of, well, your job doesn't pay enough. You have too low of a credit score. Any history that you do have financially is probably severely tainted. So you keep getting rejected, and you finally find that dealer that says, sold, I'll sell it to you. You want to tell me what those terms are? Because they don't talk about the terms. They don't talk about the terms.
How was your overall experience here at Super Bowl?
My overall experience was a 10. Everyone was nice. Like,
She said something about her overall experience was 10.
they giving me hugs and I'm crying. Like, I'll come back. I'll definitely come back.
Would you recommend
She said it's kind of hard to understand her. She's saying she'll come back. She'll definitely come back.
your family and friends to come
Yes,
to Super Bowl?
definitely.
You're hearing it? Congrats.
Yeah. So this is one of those high risk loan places. So you can get all your high risk family and friends to come join you. Hey, this is the dealership you want to go to, because sometimes, as they tell you, apples don't fall far from the tree. So the high risk family and friends will come here too. Oh, sweet Jesus. I would have liked to know what these loan terms were, because I can guarantee you the interest is in the double digits. I guarantee it to you. I guarantee it was a used car. Interest are in the double digits. But at least Tanisha, what's her name, is happy.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Super Deal.
Okay, more bad TikTok music that I've covered over. This lady does not speak, but here's what the screen says. This is a young lady in her 20s. When my car payment is $900 at age 18, because I wanted to drive a cute BMW with leather seats. Good God. Okay, going back to that guy, that second video. How much money should she make at about, with about a $900 car payment? When that, skirting right around $100,000 a year, family? Right around $100,000 to have a $900 a month car payment. She, okay, 2, 4, 6, 800. She's going to fork over about $275 or so a month. Excuse me, a week. A week. She's going to fork that over, right? About $250 or so. She's 18 years old. This, young people, is how you get yourself wrapped up into debt that you cannot get out of. And this type of debt can affect your future relationships. And these are the same type of people that will go on to carry student loans. So by the time they are 24, 25, they've racked up car debt, a repossession, been there, done that, student loan debt, and then they wonder why they can't find a relationship, why, some people just want to use others for their financial gain, and we've seen that, okay? They're really not interested in you, they're interested in your money. 18 years old. $900 a month. Were her parents? Well, technically, her parents don't need to be around. She's a legal adult. A cute I just hiccuped. A cute BMW. Sometimes there's a saying about boats that I heard ages ago. It says they're the two happiest days of a boater's life, the day they buy the boat and the day they sell the boat. Oftentimes I think that's the same thing when it comes to these 900,000 plus car payments. And I'm going to say 700 too. I'll give grace on 600, depends upon the finances. But when people start going at the to me anything 650, 700 up is just obscene. I think 600 is obscene. Okay, but I'll give a little leeway there. But these $700, $800, $900, $1,200 car payments. Yeah, so she's 18 years old, and she's exactly the American Consumer Society that credit card companies and other consumer debt companies are looking for. She's fitting it to a T. Wait till those BMW repairs come. Wait till the Beamer repairs come.
I won't be able to get it.
Okay, we're almost. I think there's 2 other videos after this clip. All right, this guy is begging for money on TikTok because that seems to be popular now. He's trying to get his car repaired. Seems to be a very popular trend, begging for money on TikTok, because that's the new job trend, I guess, to beg for money on TikTok.
Let's not do fake falls. Just say at T-Mobile you get tons of benefits.
I really do need my car. It's been really, really rough taking a lift to work. It's expensive. It's very expensive. And then having
Yes, cars are expensive, and this is why sometimes we have to take the bus.
to take a lift home.
I'm doing whatever that is. I'll do the line. Check out the T-Mobile savings calculator and see how much you can save. Right now, we'll even pay off your phone when you switch.
I don't get paid until Wednesday, bro. I'll even pay somebody back the $64 if you want. I really have no problem doing that. I get paid Wednesday. I could pay somebody back. I do work. Like, I hate when people assume I don't work. I do. I just don't get paid until Wednesday. I won't even have the money to lift myself to the work tomorrow morning. That's what's crappy. I'm only $64 short to get my car out of the shop. There's $386.
So he's got a $386 car repair. He's $64 short to get it out of the shop, and he's going to TikTok. Wait till that 18-year-old girl on that clip we just saw before this with her BMW. All right, this next clip actually has nothing to do with cars. I just thought it was funny. It was more begging for TikTok money. But, you know, let's face it, guys, when you've got these 8, 9, 12, whatever $100 a month car payments, you're probably going to be on TikTok begging too. So let's just have fun with this one.
They ain't send me nothing. They told me they got $5.
Man.
I need 50 at least. I know I'm broke.
Who broke?
I know I'm broke. That's why I'm asking y'all for help.
No, we ain't broke. Nah, bro, we ain't broke.
Okay, but we still need our. I need to tell them that we broke. That's supposed to take care of some accountability.
If we broke, fix us.
If you can't give me 50, go to the nah, baby. You need to.
Why are you going to lie? The line title literally says, "Help me, please, dear God. I need the help today."
Come on now.
Why are you here? Like, come on, bro. We the only niggas with bills that you know.
Come on now.
Y'all watching us? Y'all ain't.
I'm embarrassed just watching them do this.
Tell them. Look, hold on. You need a job. This is my...
Yeah, somebody in the comments, because they're live streaming this on TikTok, and somebody in the comments wrote, "Go get a job."
Job asking y'all for money. Help me. Y'all is my job. Send me money. Why y'all always asking for money? I ain't always asking for money. I just consecutively ask. I'm just habitually asking. That's it. Come on now. I ain't always asking nothing.
Yeah, we just asking with persistence. That's
Come
it,
on,
bro.
that's it.
Habitually asking for help, bro.
Ford is.
All right, and with that, we're going to close it with this news clip. And this news clip talks about how these cars can now, well, let's see, I think it's at Ford. They'll say it in just a minute. But one of these major companies, I'm going to shrink this down a little bit, has put in a patent for vehicles that they want to repossess to be self-driving, and they can lock you out of the car and all of that stuff, you know, to get rid of the cat and mouse game when they're going to go repossess your car. So check this out.
Is working on technology that would remotely repossess a car. If owners ignore warnings about missed payments, the system starts to disable features like GPS, air conditioning, cruise control, and the radio. It can also...
In Florida, you cannot disconnect the AC. And think about Phoenix, all right? 110 degrees the other day in Phoenix, according to one of my best friends that lives there.
Lock the owner out of the car. According to a patent application with the U.S. government, the technology can also make the car drive off private property to be picked up by a tow truck.
All right, folks. Well, I hope you guys all enjoyed that. Don't forget on Thursdays at right around 6:15, I live stream. We do that with the Dave Ramsey Show. Guys, this has been fun. Have a beautiful Sunday and a very safe Monday. Bye, everyone.